Ciao everyone and welcome. In this video we are going to head to a city truly unlike any other. A floating masterpiece full of art, history and iconic spots hidden around every corner. And I'm going to be counting down 10 of my favorite things that you can do on your visit to this beautiful city of Venice. So let's begin. Now, I'm sure you know about some of the world famous places that you can go to in Venice, so we'll get to those later in the video, and let's get stuck in right away with a few hidden gems that you may not have heard of, some of which actually were my favorites. So let's begin with the golden Teatro La Fenice. La Fenice fittingly translates to the Phoenix in English, as this opera house has risen from two devastating fires over its long life. You can catch a performance here if you like, or just take a tour like we did at any time to see its jaw-dropping interiors. It really feels like you've stepped into another world when you step inside this theatre, which is kind of a recurring theme you may notice throughout this video. You want inside? Yeah, sure. Pizza.
Yeah. We haven't had pizza by this.
Pizza for breakfast.
Yes.
The next location is no different, which is Scuola Grande di San Rocco. This is often called Venice's Sistine Chapel, as this building is filled with enormous paintings by Tintoretto, who dedicated over 20 years to this masterpiece. I know Italy is known for its impressive ceilings, but I think
On a different level.
this one's on a different level. And the more you explore it and the more hidden details you start to notice, the more blown away you'll be. So the city of Venice was kind of born in the 5th century AD, just after the decline of the Western Roman Empire, when mainland inhabitants were forced to seek refuge from the endless barbarian invasions at the time. And they did this by fleeing to the almost inaccessible marshy islands in the Venetian lagoon, and they started building scattered settlements here, which over time grew and eventually merged into one, forming the beating heart of Venice. And this is no better on display than in the iconic Piazza San Marco. Ready to go up the tower, Ellie? If it's tall, it should give us a good view.
Yeah.
Dominating one end of this piazza is St. Mark's Basilica with its intricate facade. Beside it, the Doge's Palace, a Venetian Gothic marvel which was the seat of power here. And don't miss climbing up the bell tower as well. And at the top you will get what I think is easily the very best view over Venice. So good in fact that Galileo actually demonstrated his telescope right here. As a little tip, when you are visiting this piazza, do consider coming either very early in the morning to try and beat the crowds, or even better, in our experience, late in the evening. You can easily spend an entire day though, just here. Now, we've spent a lot of time exploring the streets on foot, but how about exploring them from the canals? With an iconic gondola ride. You can sit back and enjoy Venice from another perspective and really begin to understand the immense feat of engineering that Venice is from the water. I think you'll really start to wonder just how a city this immense and impressive can be built on those unstable mudflats that I mentioned earlier. It was actually done by the settlers driving millions of long wooden piles deep through the soft mud and sand until they reached the much firmer layer of clay below. And when they packed these wooden piles tightly together, they formed a solid underground base, which, because the wood is submerged and not exposed to the elements, instead of rotting, it kind of petrified, almost turning into solid rock, and providing the perfect foundation for these buildings to stand. And after they'd done that, all that was left was to connect all of these small pontoons with bridges. Over 400 of them, to be exact. And our next point takes us to some of the most famous and iconic of those bridges. I just can't get over how slanted that tower is. First up, the Ponte di Rialto, which is the oldest and most famous bridge over the Grand Canal. Its current stone form dates back to 1591 and it's lined with shops and it's always buzzing with people. Then there's the hidden Bridge of Sighs, which you may miss at first glance. And a little honourable mention is the unique wooden Ponte dell'Accademia, which was as fun to find as many of these places are in Venice with its maze-like streets. Where are we, Ellie? Oh, literally, Venice is a maze. I mean, you just come to massive sort of dead-end streets, and then you think you're getting somewhere, and then you get to a canal, and there's just no way to cross the canal. But we are seeing all of these incredible, beautiful streets. Next up, let's head to the world's most unusual bookstore at Libreria Acqua Alta. So to protect the books from Venice's Acqua Alta, which translates in English to high water, these books are stored in bathtubs, boats, and even a gondola. And it's a good thing too, because as you may imagine, Venice is prone to flooding and we don't want these books to get damaged. If you do actually walk outside, you'll notice piles and piles of unfortunate books that have been caught in a flood. Just remember, if visiting here, it's not just a tourist attraction, it is still a functioning bookstore, so have a browse and maybe even consider buying something as well. They have a great selection of bookmarks. Next up is a real hidden gem. It's the Scala Contarini del Bovolo, and it winds up the side of this beautiful palace. It's a really unique spot to just have a little look at some of Venice's unique architecture at its best. For modern art lovers, next up is the Peggy Guggenheim collection. It's housed in her former palazzo on the Grand Canal and features works by Picasso, Dali and Pollock. The sculpture garden overlooking the canal is lovely as well, a really great view. So we're getting towards the end of the video now, and number 9 takes us right back to the square where we started actually, just opposite Scuola Grande di San Rocco, and it's the Da Vinci Museum. Inside you can get hands-on with reproductions of Da Vinci's work, and it's just such a unique experience. And it's the best way to see some of his inventions because you really get an understanding for the mechanics and engineering behind them. You can touch and test pretty much everything here. And for my final tip for Venice is quite literally to just get lost.
Just walk.
Just walk.
And whatever seems interesting, go in.
Yeah. I mean, here we are. This looks interesting right now. Oh, and it is interesting.
Yeah.
Sometimes when traveling, it's quite easy to get caught up in planning everything down to the last detail, but sometimes some of the best things you see and the best memories you make are made when you didn't know where you were going in the first place. It's a good view, eh?
Yeah, it's very nice.
And Venice is the perfect place to do that. Like I said, its streets are maze-like, and you somehow never end up walking the same street twice. We're currently lost right now at a dead end because this is how we've spent most of this video. So ditch the map, ditch the phone, wander the streets, discover hidden gems that nobody else has seen, browse tiny independent shops and just soak in the atmosphere along the much quieter canals, because as you walk away from the busy main streets, you'll see some places that really feel like you've just stepped back in time and there's nobody to enjoy it but you. And that's it. Those are my top 10 things to do in Venice. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, please do consider clicking that subscribe button. It really means so much and it really helps me out. And if you did enjoy it and want to see more from not just Italy, all over Europe, then I will link that playlist here. Please do let me know in the comments below any other places which I may have missed that are your favorites. That way we can all share more ideas of things to do in the beautiful city that is Venice. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one, and ciao ciao!